It's the team of the week for round number 9. Here we go again. And at fullback, this is getting a little bit like deja vu. It is Jay Field of the Wigan Warriors. 2 more tries against the Wakefield Trinity. Puts him top of the try scoring charts with Ken Co. At number 2, Abbas Miske. Well, there he is. He's been on the wing now for a couple of weeks. But this week against Wakefield, he got the try and he got an assist. A fine display on the right wing by Abbas. Well played and welcome to the team of the week. At number 3, it's Sam Halsall. Nothing makes us happier here at Super League Raw than a young man getting in team of the week. Sam Halsall, great future ahead, 2 great assists, well played in the centres against Wakefield. At number 4, there's no shifting him. It's Mark Percival of St Helens. A great game against Huddersfield Giants and a very vital try once again by the man who just continues to get better and better. At number 5, it has to be Ryan Hall, rolling back the years once more. It was a tense affair, wasn't it? In Toulouse, they very nearly shocked the world and got their 2nd win of the season, but no, Mr. Hall would not be denied. Well played, Ryan. At number 6, Mitchell Pearce of the Catalan Dragons, really starting to find his feet now for the Dragons. A fine display against the Salford Red Devils on a away patch. 2 tries, great performance. At number 7, well, it's the first time this season this man has been in team of the week. I know, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Johnny Lomax of St Helens. It's a great game against Huddersfield, and Lomax was the architect of yet another win. Is there anybody who's going to stop the mighty Saints at number 8? Well, it's Liam Watt up against the lead Rhinos. Nothing gives the Tigers more satisfaction than getting one over the team from Headingley, and Watt yet again, the captain, fantastic, leading from the front. And number 9, staying in the team of the week from round number 8, it's Paul McShane. 2 more assists from McShane. He's now really starting to fire and get to some form. Obviously the captain. My apologies, Mr. Watts, it's not you, is it? It's Mr. McShane playing well. And number 10, Brad Singleton of the Wigan Warriors. 2 tries from a prop forward. Well done, Mr. Singleton. Fantastic to see you in such good form. 97 metres and 24 tackles. At number 11, Joe Chamwell. He did have 10 minutes on the sideline, but that doesn't matter. We still put him in our 2nd row. A fine assist. He's been in great form this season and will need to be, as Mike McMeekin will be out for the foreseeable future. At number 12, he's there again. He was there in round 8. He's there again once more. Reece Martin, despite losing out to the Castleford Tigers. Martin tried his best, didn't he? But again to no avail. 2 tries, 3 goals. And finally, it was Brad Fash who broke the Warrington Wolves' hearts with a fine display for Hull FC. He may be spending some time on the sidelines with his little gnashers, but it doesn't really matter. Great performance and 2 points for Hull FC. Ladies and gentlemen, your team of the week for round number 9. The team of the week for round number 9. Big apologies to everybody. I got a load of pelters last week. We forgot to do it. We didn't press play on that. So there it is. And of course, Brad Fash with his gnashers didn't get a ban. He didn't get a ban. He got away with it. Good luck to the lad. Well done to him. But yes, another fine team of the week there for round 9. Good evening, Reggie. How are you?
Fine form again, sir.
Fine form. And we've still got team of the week for round 10 to do this evening. That was round 9. A good team. Some, Fielding again, Percival in again. Mitchell Pearce starting to get into a bit of flow for Catalan. Johnny Lomax's first outing in our team of the week. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Singleton with 2 tries as a prop forward. Fair play. Reece Martin, despite again being on a losing team, holds his place week on week. And Brad Fash. Happy with that, mate?
I can't argue with that. Good to see Sam Halsall there.
Yes. Well, hold that thought, sir. Hold that thought. Week 10 was all around the young talent coming up.
It certainly was.
Loads to talk about, and actually that's probably a good place to start. Actually, quite a bit of news going on in Super League this week, so let's try and batter through it as much as we possibly can. A lot of talk around the Easter fixtures, maybe next year, not actually doing the Easter fixtures, not doing the back-to-back.
Down to 1 game next year, I believe.
Yeah, but it is a concept. We like new concepts here. We're big fans of moving the game on. Captain's Challenge coming into the UK and things like that. But it's a concept for you, based on the fact that we saw some exceptional performances. The Saints kids didn't really let themselves down too much. It was a decent display. The Warrington kids did well for Warrington. Jason Gary, what a try in that game. So we saw a lot of these youngsters coming through. Here's an idea. Why don't we still have 2 fixtures? But one of the fixtures, the teams cannot play the same 17 in both.
It's not a bad idea.
So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to manage the squad. It's going to, a bit of youth is going to come in for those 2 rounds like we saw this year. All teams are going to have the same parameters. So actually what it's going to make them have to do is invest in their academies because, there is going to be a round resting on the kids coming through, and it's a great opportunity for the coaches to see them in the first team.
It's not a bad idea, but obviously that you'd have to kind of ensure that it's the second game in which the youngsters are played.
Absolutely.
Because if it's Saints Wigan or Saints Wigan on a Friday and say you'd need it to be the youngsters playing against.
Well, but it come down to the coach, wouldn't it? So I mean that's down to the coaches. I mean, you would expect Wigan Saints they're going to put the strongest team out for that game. But it's about managing that squad. It's about picking 2 teams that you think can be.
Wouldn't it be good to see Saints youngsters against Wigan youngsters, for example? Do
you make the second game where basically the age has to be a team that's sub 25 years of age?
Yeah. I was glad to see today on this point, not wanting to move away from your point so much, but there was talk that Saints were going to get a fine for fielding that side on Monday.
It's their privilege.
I'm glad they did.
No, it's their privilege. They've earned the right.
He used the squad.
Right. And let's be fair, they've always brought youngsters through. I had no issue with that. Castleford won the lottery, of course, absolutely won the lottery there. But I've got no issue with that. In terms of, like I say, loads of ins and outs. Some players renewing contracts. Kane Lynette, just before getting his injury, that's going to keep him out for a couple of weeks. He's extended. It's a shame. Joe Chan leaving to go to the NRL. That was a bit of a surprise.
He's been playing well though, hasn't he?
Yes.
I thought he might have stayed one more season, if I'm being honest, and then gone to the NRL. But good luck to him. Good luck to him.
Yeah. In his senior, signed on again for Huddersfield.
Yes.
Good for Huddersfield, that.
Yeah. He was one of the kind of players that came through the weekend quite well.
Am I missing someone? I've got a feeling that I'm missing somebody else who's extended this week. There's a lot. That was it. Elliot Minicella at
he was the first, wasn't he?
He's extended to 2026, hasn't he?
Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody else as well.
I can't remember. I know, like I said, there's quite a few there, and there is quite a few that have signed on again for another year. And of course, hang on a second. Last week apologies. Last week, we started the show with a montage to Tony Smith, and then he goes and drops a massive bombshell. He's leaving OKR. We all thought it might have been for Leeds. Doesn't look like it is. Now,
no, I don't think so.
There's rumours circulating. Well done, Sean. Sean's on it. It was Mike McMeekin we were thinking about. He signed on again for
I knew there was somebody else.
And actually, speaking of Mike McMeekin, good news for McMeekin. It's not as bad as first 4. He should be back in about 4 to 6 weeks, which is good news.
Good news for Castle
and for the league. Yeah, because he's a quality player. But back to Tony Smith. Moving on from OKR. Rumours as well today circulating that, and I don't know where this is coming from because I think Brett Hodgson's doing a good job over at the Black and Whites, but he could actually cross over to the Black and Whites.
I've heard this one. That was an absolute bombshell.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean, obviously he's not happy with the way things are at Hull KR.
No.
Although if you see the scenes in the dressing room after the Hull game, you wouldn't have thought there were any problems. So it's obviously mustn't be with the playing staff. It must be behind the scenes.
Well, I think it's probably hierarchy. I would say.
Yeah. I think the thing with Tony Smith has proved at Warrington. Once he's decided he's had enough and
he's off,
and things aren't going the way he likes it, he ups sticks and goes, which is fair enough.
Absolutely. Good evening. Well, let's do a few good evenings. Let's do a few. Graham Parrish is always Andy and Sue Kirk, and Andy and Sue have already linked in. Jason Gary has extended for 2 years. Quite correct, Andy and Sue. Yes, Sonia Taylor was Fallon in a previous life, by all accounts. She's with us for the first time. Hello to Sonia. Abby Pryor, good evening to you. David Barmer Alder. We do like a double barrel name here at Super League Raw. He's with us once again. Sean, of course, he's with us as always. Good to see Sean as well. Ian Potter is with us. We've even got a hi from Harvey Days. Who's watching as well. I think it's the first time Harvey's been with us as well. So good evening to you all. We hope you enjoy the show. We're going to be reviewing all the action in a minute, so stay where you are, and we'll get to that. Speaking of ins and outs, let's go to Headingley. Gary Schofield has had his say in League Express. He's not enamoured with Rowan Smith's appointment. But bit out of left field, this one. Obviously, very similar to Kristen Wolf when he came to Saints. Not a lot of first-team coaching experience. But do we believe that this was the right appointment for the Leeds Rhinos?
It's a boring answer, but only time's going to tell. I mean, he's got a good pedigree. He's Brian Smith's son and he's Tony Smith's nephew.
The bloodline is thoroughbred. Is that what we're saying, sir?
He's thoroughbred. He's not had, as far as I'm aware, he's not had a top coaching role in the NRL.
No, he's not. So yeah, I'll just bring you up to speed with that.
I'll bring you up to Steve Price at Warrington if you.
I'll bring you up to speed with it. So he started out. So I'm just looking here now. With the New Zealand Warriors under Daniel Anderson, not a bad coach to be sitting under.
I know.
He then came to the London Broncos under Tony Ray. Interesting. Was there for a couple of years. Then he went back to the Sydney Roosters and the Newcastle Knights. He was then appointed head coach at Tonga, lost 3 from 3. Then he went to coach at Penrith and Gold Coast before taking over at the Bradford Bulls. He coached the Bradford Bulls between 16 and 17. He was in charge for 20 games and won 14 of them. Not bad. He then went back down under to coach the North Devils in the Queensland Cup, and last year he took them to the win of the Queensland Cup. So, whilst he's not managed he's not coached an NRL team or a Super League team, he's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten that he was at the Bulls and did quite well there. Speaking of the Bulls, John Keir's gone today. Tony Smith to the Bulls.
Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, but again, that was a surprising one, wasn't it? That Keir's gone. Surprised.
There was something said earlier this week, and I think it started to rumble. I thought, well, I wonder if John Keir's days are numbered there. Back to Rowan Smith. Give the guy a chance.
I think there's a lot of. I think half the Leeds camp are exactly what you're saying. We won't know until we know. But I think deep down, I think they were hoping for a different Smith to be taking the lead, to be taking it. If I'm being honest,
I think Leeds are a little bit like certain Premiership teams in football, where they deserve a big name coach, and that's not being disparaging to Leeds. That they're a big club. Yeah. It's similar maybe a few years ago to David Moyes going to Man United. A lot of Man United fans wanted a big name. Some said give him a chance. It's the same sort of scenario.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Let's just see. Let's just see how it goes.
Time will of course tell. But and of course the other announcement that has come this week: Ardacre sat at Wigan and now turned up at Leeds. How fickle sport is. When he went to Castleford, oh dearie me, and all of a sudden now it's all changed, hasn't it? Over at Headingley, where Mr. Ardacre is concerned.
I don't like this. I from what I can hear from behind the scenes, it's kind of been an engineered move by Zach Ardacre. I don't like that. I don't like players engineering moves away from clubs.
No, I agree, mate. It's not in the spirit, is it?
No. In any, not because it's Leeds or Wigan or Zach Ardacre. In any sport. No. Any player that engineers a move away from the club.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You sign a contract. You see that contract out, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I completely agree. Completely and utterly agree. So I think we've anything else that's caught your eye this week? That's pretty much where my head's at the moment.
The St Helens were possibly going to get fined by the RFL for
ridiculous.
That was resolved today.
Yeah, so, ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. At the end of the day, they've earned the right. And like I said, Castleford won the lottery there. Absolutely won the lottery there. But at the end of the day, you roll your dice, you take your chances. That's the way it is, isn't it?
You do, mate. You do exactly.
Right. So anyway, we did say that we would drop in every now and again to the Albert Goldthorpe Medal and to the Man of Steel tables. The Man of Steel table has only been updated until the end of Easter weekend at this moment in time, but the Albert Goldthorpe is up to date as of today. So let's take a look at it. Here we go. These are the two league tables. I'm not sure if people can see the Man of Steel one too well, because me and Greg's heads might be in there. But anyway, both led by Jay Field, whatever you want to say.
Field.
But yeah, he's 15 points on the Man of Steel, 16 points on the Albert Goldthorpe. But then it's a bit different. On the Albert Goldthorpe, Johnny Lomax is there with 10, Sam Tompkins 9, Josh Drinkwater 8. Of course, he's going to be having a spell on the sidelines with his foot. And of course, Jake Connor there at 8. The top places on the Man of Steel, Field, Lola Hoyer, Matautia and Connor excuse me, with Lomax. Excuse me.
Cheers.
Lomax,
40.
Marcel. Good Lord. Mitchell Pearce, Joe Westerman and Tommy Makinson all on 7. Greg's gone. And Mason Lino.
How childish we are, sir.
Mason Lino on 6. Andy and Sue. Zach will keep his nose clean. Oh, that's a shocking pun. Zach will keep his nose clean until a long-term deal arrives, then anything could happen. Was there a little bit of a pun in there, do we think, by Andy and Sue? Oh, there might be. That's a bit dangerous, of course. Only alleged action, and we can't be going into those areas. Good Lord. Dear me, this is a family-friendly show, for God's sake. Anyway, but yeah, there you go. Interesting time. So yeah, that's the Man of Steel. And I think, to be fair, at this moment in time, feels walking it, isn't he? Absolutely walking it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he got all 3 points.
He didn't. Yeah. He didn't know.
And the Salford game, that absolutely blew. Same with Jamie Bell getting all 3 points for the Saints Gasford game.
Mate.
How?
James Bell, mate. How on earth? Andy and Sue will love this. But, you know, unbelievable. How on earth does James Bell get 3 Albert Goldthorpe points? Is that that's going to be the first time in history that a team has lost 30 points to 10 and the losing team player gets 3 points? What on earth was that?
I mean, he played well. He did play well.
McShane was man of the match by a country mile.
By a country mile. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'd say Kyle Amor was. I thought Kyle Amor had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
And I can't usually get in. Can't even get on the bench.
Yeah, he did.
So he had a great game.
No, you're right.
I didn't understand Jamie. If Jamie Bell's going to get points, Kyle Amor should have got points.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Completely agree.
Jay Field didn't get all 3 points for the Salford game, I don't believe.
Like I say, you know, we said last week we should really, you know, in the same way of Leeds, you know, we should celebrate watching a team like Saints. It's a great brand of rugby. They're a great team to watch. However, you know, I also had to laugh in that Castleford game where, you know, Joe Westerman supposedly had a quiet game. If that was Morgan Knowles, he'd have got 3 points. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the hypocrisy of it all. But anyway, that's another story. Before we get into some action, sir, should we take a look at who the top performers were in round number 10?
I think we should. I think
it'd be rude not to, sir. Rude not to. So here they are, the top performers for round number 10. So there we go, the top performers of round number 10. From some fantastic performance there. Kyle Amor, yeah, you said it. Great game. Yeah, the most meters made from a prop forward in that game. And this, of course, was round number 10. So these were the fixtures, of course. The Castleford Tigers took on St Helens. The Leeds Rhinos took on Toulouse Olympic in a bottom of the table clash. Warrington Wolves hosted an informed Huddersfield. Well, say informed, they've been a bit off the pace, but a Huddersfield Giants team that have been playing very well this season. Paul KR took on Wakefield Trinity. Wigan took on Salford, a cracking game, that on Channel 4.
A great game that was.
And Hull FC brought the curtain down against the Catalan Dragons. Okay, so let's get straight into it. We start at the Menderhouse Jungle. As always, Barry Williams, he's a bit late this week. He's our Wakefield fan. He's a bit late, but he's
been, Barry?
Good evening, Barry. Good evening, sir. Welcome along for the ride. So yeah, we start with the Tigers against the Saints, 30 points to 10. Our Super League Raw man of the match, absolutely Paul McShane in this one, had an absolutely superb game. And like we said, the kids didn't didn't do a bad job in this game, it can be said. As always, Betfred Super League YouTube channel is where we get this from. Normally the day after the game, catch all the highlights from the games on the Super League, Betfred Super League YouTube channel. So yeah, what a try, sir.
Yeah, this is what he does in the first minute of games. He scores spectacular tries.
Mate, 1, 2, I think, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. No surprise, the Super League Raw fans forum try of round number 10 was Jason Gary getting 42% of the vote. I actually expected that to get a higher proportion of the votes than 42.
I actually thought there was another try that slightly bettered that.
Ooh, interesting.
It is a great try.
It is a great try.
There's a try I think just about trumps that one.
Yeah, they were gagging for his foot to be out here, weren't they?
Oh, you were. And if that line had been straight, it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Very good. Oh, mate, that's a bolt.
Just look at that. You can see where it bends. That's brilliant.
Oh, what a line. That is a genius line. Oh, fair play. Oh, that's really tickled me up, that. That's like Sunday League football lines, isn't it? Oh, mate.
I think they let Boris Johnson do that line.
You know what, mate? I've not said this for a while, but take a bow, Mr. Nixon. That's a genius line. But yeah, Castleford, they could only beat the team that was in front of him. We were saying as well last week, Darrell Oldfirth, he's not had the start to this year as he had last year, but then he goes and bangs in a brace. You know, it's you've
got to not so much feel sorry for the St Helens kids, but you've got to kind of, they were up against it, I think, against Castleford. You know, they've all been brought in after the Easter break. They all obviously played together in the academy, etc. But it is a big step up.
Character building, though, mate.
It is. And that's why I don't think feel sorry for them is the right word.
No,
I can't think what the right word is. But it's character building. I think you're right there.
I thought the young halfback Danny Moss had a decent game.
Yeah, he looks a good prospect.
Yeah, and with Dodd going out, he might get a bit of game time. With Doddy out.
Well, he's not done his cause any harm, has he?
No, he hasn't, mate. But this was lovely from Mamo. Lovely step, that. Lovely step.
That was the thing.
Yeah, Truman, wasn't it? And also, on the injury front for Castleford, Niall Evans picked up a knock as well. Yeah. On the topic of injuries, I mean, we'll see round 11 in a minute, and we always look at who might not feature in the next round. And I'll tell you what, when I put this week's together, there's a lot of players all of a sudden on the injury list or doubtful list. And of course, that's that Easter conversation again, isn't it?
It is. That's why you shouldn't really start crowing about where you are in the league until there's about 6 or 7 weeks left.
Yeah.
Teams that start off to a flyer, Saints, withstanding, usually get caught up round about week 15, 16.
Yeah.
But this is that's a nice try.
Nice try. Yeah, I mean, like I say, he was doing that all season last year. Obviously, he was on the right-hand side last year, not on the. Still on the right side,
I thought Jack Smith had quite a decent game. He took a bit of criticism.
Yeah.
But I thought he had quite a decent game, Jack Smith.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I completely agree.
That famous Saints line speed deserted him this week, and they were caught a few times offside. But I thought he had a decent.
But again, in jest, you said to me, didn't you? It'd been interesting if it weren't the kids, if that had been the case. Because there is this thing about bias in all sports. The top teams get probably a bit more rub of the green, and it's not hard as a referee to penalise young kids, is it? Bit contentious.
Not taking away from his performance, so. I thought, again...
That's a good try.
Yeah, second week on the bounce. And he deserved that because he made a few errors in the first half.
Yeah,
so I felt quite pleased for him.
Yeah.
I actually stood up and applauded that try, and I've not done the same try for a very, very long
time. No, but it's good offload as well. I mean, that's nice. That's
a nice finish.
Lovely finish. Yeah, everything about that. Bit of quality. We like a bit of quality, and that certainly was... absolutely a bit of look at that. That's lovely. It's a thing of beauty. It's nice. Yeah. We do like a good try. And that was
that's what the game's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Super. Outstanding. I think Sky enjoyed that try and all, didn't they? To be fair.
I think they did, yeah. I think they did.
I think they enjoyed that. Could have been a bit disappointing. I mean, good strength there by the kid. Good strength.
That's Jamie Bell. That's Jamie Bell.
That's Jamie Bell, yeah. But good strength and They'll be disappointed, Cass, there.
So going back to Sky, Tommy Marty's son was called Tommy Marty was called everything from Reese to Tony to Terry. I don't think they got his name right once. The Sky, Bill Harper, God bless him. I don't think they got his name right once.
I don't know if you read the League Express. There's a great fans letter about the commentary on Sky and League Express this week, where we don't want to know if it's Terry and Barry's birthday. They're there to commentate on the game, and actually they do too much talking.
Yeah, well, again, Channel 4's
atmosphere up.
Channel 4's coverage again showed them up spectacularly on.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
Sunday this time.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah, still a quarter of a million tuning in on Channel 4, which is
good to
encouraging.
see.
It is. And again, that's in spite of the fact that they keep changing it. Now they've moved to Sundays. It's not on every Saturday. I genuinely believe, had they have had a game every Saturday, they'd have retained far more viewers. Yeah. Because
another thing, Dave, it was very poorly advertised, the game.
Yeah, it was.
I'd forgotten it was on.
Yeah. Oh, what a game, though. What a game. What a game. We'll get to that later, but what a game. But here was Westerman's try, of course. And, Joe's
had a quiet game. Had a quiet game,
did Joe? Very quiet game. James Jones, good evening. Terry Hingley, good evening. Raymond Lloyd back here with us. Mike Stanley also. Get involved. Put your comments in. Who impressed you in round 11? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Fanua had a decent game as well. There's a lot of Castleford fans were saying that this was perhaps his best game thus far for Castleford.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. But
there's Mamo again.
I think Mamo, it's up against the kids, and the yardstick is against a full strength Saints team. But Mamo had a great game as well. First time, not seen a lot of Cass this season after me, but first time I've seen him maybe hit
something. Yeah, I agree. Somewhere like where he was last year. But again, you've got to call it fair. They had a good game. Steve Wilson has just joined as well. Hello, Steve. Welcome along.
That's a good try. That's a great try. That is a great try.
So that was the Tigers and Saints, 30 points to 10. Just over 7,500 people there to watch that one. 30-10. Congratulations to Cass. That's their fourth on the spin, isn't it? For Cass. Good effort. Good effort from them. Yeah. We now go to a game that, let's be absolutely honest, was a must-win for the Leeds Rhinos as Toulouse came.
Yeah. I'd say a must-win for both teams, to be honest, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, if Toulouse had won this, it'd have been squeaky bum time at Headingley. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, Brad Dwyer, we called as our man of the match at Super League Raw.
And he got the points. He got the Albert Goldthorpe points as well.
Played very well. And of course, it started so well yet again with Macron. I love that name, Mr. Macron, going in.
He did well in the middle of a presidency election campaign, didn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, good start from Toulouse. But Dwight, he was in and around that dummy half all the way through the game. He was causing them problems. He ran at the right time. He passed at the right time. He had a really good game, did Brad Dwyer.
Yeah, I like Brad Dwyer. It's what he does best. He's one of those players that's in and around everything. We've seen him this season in the last change games for Leeds. Yeah, well, again, mate, rumour mills abound. Hull KR might want to take Brad Dwyer to replace Matt Parcell. And that would be a good move from Hull KR. Strange that rumour surfacing once Tony Smith has announced he's leaving at the end of the season. Yeah, they didn't get on, did they? No, it was a bit of a cloud. Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly they didn't get on. John Keir back at Wakefield in the back room, please, says Barry Williams. He wants John to return to Wakefield. Be interesting to see if that happens. One thing's for certain, John, he won't be without a club for long. That was a bit all over the place there. Good to see the referee though not penalising there, just getting on with it. Well, he went down, didn't he? He went down straight away. So it was sensible play there. It was, that was good to see. And Cruz leaving there, showing a degree of respect at the end of the first period. Just dropping over that drop goal and it's 19-6, was it at half time? And it's only one more try second half. I mean, Toulouse. I mean, we'll get to the Hull game later, and when you see the injury list for Hull, I'll tell you, it'll be interesting to see which way you go this week where Toulouse is concerned. Matty Russell, there's our Matty yet again. He's been around for a long time as Matty, and he's going in. He's doing well this season. He's way to the line, apparently. Yeah, he does know his way to the line. He's having a half decent season. There's no question about that. Big Al
is on the line. Big Al has decided to join us as Bradley Dwyer there goes in and poaches his second. He enjoyed that one, didn't he?
He did, and it's well, it's his stock in trade kind of try that one. He's a bit. His Saints fans will probably spit out whatever the tipple they're drinking. He reminds me a little bit of James Roby when he's near the line. The way he can spot that gap, and I'm sure Saints fans have just spat out their macaroons.
They're ready to pile in abuse. I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But no, good win for Leeds. They needed that. It gives them a cushion, which they need. And do you know what? I have to say again, very similar to what we said about Lee last year. Toulouse are surprising many people. They're surprising many people. They're not. I mean, the amount of times that we've thought they were going to get blown out, and the fans have thought they're going to get blown out. And please tell me I've missed the Wire Giants game. You haven't, Mark. Mark Atack is with us. Big Mark is back. Doesn't want to see the Huddersfield Warrington game. Sorry, Mark, we haven't been there. Actually, all I can say to you is, you've arrived just in time, Mark. Sit back, pull up a chair, light up a cheroot, sir, and get ready for the Warrington Giants game.
Is that free advertising, sir?
Free advertising for a cheroot. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so 32 points to 10. I have to say, I was the only person who backed Warrington. I didn't think they'd win by this margin, I have to say.
No,
I got the feeling that Warrington, the last two rounds, yes, I know they lost against Hull FC, but they were unlucky there. There just seemed to be something building at Warrington. I just felt that this could be that game where they sparked to life, and they did. And really good performance. Josh Fewlis, outstanding. Riley Dean, outstanding. Sir, you were there. I was working, unfortunately. Over to you.
It was our best performance of the season, I think, by a long way. Matty Ashton there, just put your foot down, Matty, and go. But I don't know why he turned inside. He could have scored that himself. Yeah. Huddersfield, two sin binnings, one after another, and also an 8-point try given, which you very rarely see. But the young kids did really, really well.
I believe Matautia as well at standoff was outstanding.
Had his best game for us by a country mile. That's a great finish.
Cheeky that, isn't it? It's cheeky.
Roby-esque, dare I say.
Cheeky that. Cheeky.
But Matautia had. I mean, he looked like a natural halfback.
That was a good try.
Yeah, and there's the 8-point sliding with the knees. Gets
Cog at that one, Was that Cog?
Yeah, I think he'd only just come back on, I think.
He must have had a bit of knitting to do. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that is a case where if you get 2 yellows, it's a red.
Well, I mean, the rules are the rules. It was a yellow, wasn't it? It was a yellow. But I mean,
he's lucky not to get a red, to be honest.
I mean, this lad, Riley Dean, his kicking, I'm led to believe, was just on point throughout the game. I mean,
if George Williams or Widdop had performed like Riley Dean, there'd have been, we'd never have heard the last of it. Riley Dean was superb.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb. And considering it was a last-minute partnership, because George Williams pulled up before the captain's run.
Yeah.
They had a day to get things right, and they performed as if they'd been playing in the halves for years. It was
interesting. Yeah, Fewlis being full-back, Riley Dean in the half, they played a lot of games for in the reserves together, and that understanding was there throughout the game, I believe.
Yeah, and we had Connor Wrench up against Lutelli as well in the centres. I think Connor Wrench's turn of pace for this try is
good try. This was a good try. I say, and Cooper as well getting some. I know, phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
Again, sorry.
It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Cooper as well. Cooper, there's been a big question marks over Warrington's pack, and let's be fair, Huddersfield have got a big pack, and Cooper, Mullen stood up to it.
Philbin had a good game. It's a great try.
Good try. Yeah, we had that up. I think we had that one up. I think it was that one that we had up for try of the week. It was a tough one to call between that and Wrench. It didn't go into the top 3 though. Didn't go into. Benny Curry.
Curry's pace. Curry's
pace. Yeah, Curry's having a good year.
He's not shown pace like that for a long time. Ben Curry.
Yeah.
Going back to the Huddersfield pack, we dominated them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and that surprised me. Pleasantly surprised me. And here's the thing: I don't think Chris Hill gave away one penalty.
Well, there you go.
But
There you
again,
go.
big raps to Mr. Hicks, referee, and I thought he had and that's not because Warrington won. I thought he refereed the game really well.
Yeah.
You know, you don't often see an 8-point try given these days.
No, it is a collector's item.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on because Riley Dean missed the first kick and picked the kick into up and walked to the middle. I think what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, Steve Carlos has just joined us, sir. Steve has joined us. Josh
Fewlis.
Josh Fewlis, man of the match. I think Riley Dean also had a shout for that, I think, as well, for different reasons. Just over 8,000 at the wire. I'd expect a far bigger crowd on Friday. Right.
I would
hope so too. We move on to the Robins. Obviously announced that Mr. Smith was leaving. Suddenly Wakefield are in really bad form. I mean, they got off to an average. I think they lost the first 3, then they went on and won. I think they won them even the next 3 or 4. Obviously 2 wins against Warrington in there. But since they lost in the Challenge Cup to Wigan, they've really started to suffer, haven't they?
They've dipped. It's kind of as if the confidence has been absolutely destroyed by that defeat.
Yeah.
And that was one of the simplest tries you're ever going to score.
Yeah, and Coote, again, just showing Coote started to improve as the season's gone on. Of course, Kane Lynette, 2 tries in this. He's going to be missing for a few weeks. I think was it a torn bicep he had? He was a torn bicep he's got. So he's out, and there's Mr. Coote going in. Bit naughty that from Jowett.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could have very well been an 8-point try as well.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Max Jowett. I think he's had a decent year, but that was a bit naughty.
And again, that's poor defence. That is shocking defence. Again, I'm going to have Saints fans spitting the macaroons out, but I think Lachlan Coote is playing as well for Hull KR as he ever did for Saints.
He's playing well, mate.
Obviously, I didn't see him week in, week out. Saints fans will tell me that we'll point out the error of the ways, but I think he's playing really well.
Yeah, and he's having a decent year. Like Ethan Ryan, and he's getting a lot of raps at Hull KR this year. Ethan Ryan
injury as well.
What's that?
He's come back from injury as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Coote again, and like I say, Coote, he's really started. I mean, that's a nice try. Try. He's took that really, really well. But Coote's really starting to fire for KR.
Yeah. Like I say, he's playing like a halfback.
Yeah. He's in the line, isn't he? He's in the line all the time.
Yeah.
Is that K or Miller? I always get them 2 mixed up. Is that Miller? Or was it K? It's Miller.
I think that was Miller.
Was it Miller? It was, I think. Yeah, there he is. And there's a cut-out pass, simple try. Nice finish, that. A bit of a Christopher Reeves about that.
Can we say that?
Oh, dear. I'll tell you. I've got to stay off the sauce, mate. Anyway.
I'm off it tonight.
Good Lord. And then, of course, Ryan Hall. Yeah, again, Ryan Hall. He just keeps doing it, doesn't he? Going about his business.
Slowly heading towards that top try scorer.
He is. He is. He's slowly but surely rising up the try scoring charts. You're quite right. Minicello, of course, now with his long-term contract. Here comes Kane Lynette's second, nicely taken.
If I'm not wrong, I think that's where he might have got his.
Yeah, it's about 12. Is it about 12 weeks he's out for? I think somebody said he's out for a considerable amount of time.
It might not have been there. I think it was just after that, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, the Robins, 32 points to 10. Still doing very, very well. Hull KR, you can't knock them. 7,000, they'll be probably disappointed based on previous attendances. They're probably a bit disappointed with only 7. But
maybe, but they've had 2 sellout crowds on the bounce.
They have.
The Easter weekend will have sorted a lot of people out. Money-wise, I would have thought so.
Yeah, true.
I think this was the game of the round,
mate. Unbelievable. And Salford, if they'd have had a bit more composure in that opportunity, 3 or 4 minutes to go, they could have come away with the spoils. But yeah, I mean, it was a phenomenal display from Salford. I don't think anybody saw this coming from Salford. It was back and 2. Brilliant match, great spectacle for the game, and again, delighted it was on free-to-air TV.
You couldn't have asked for a better game on Stressfield TV.
But here he is again. I mean, it's just, this, of course, the first and the last try. And I mean, Warrington, this weekend, it's interesting. I think one of the fans forum members predicted a score. Warrington will by X amount, J Field by X amount. Didn't even mention Wigan Warriors because he is at the moment just a one-man destroying machine, isn't he? He's just unbelievable.
I mean, he's marching back. he's come back well from his was wasting a season-ending injury last year.
Yeah.
And he's got to be a shoo-in for Man of Steel.
The King Rudy Ayawa! God, I love that name. Love that name. There he is going in for his try.
What I loved was Helen Skelton trying to pronounce it.
Where was Alan Mills? Did he say where he was?
He was in. I've heard conflicting stories. He's either in Australia or Amsterdam for the Invictus Games, but I think he was in Australia.
Do you know what? Braley had a good game, didn't he?
I like Braley. I think he's a good player.
He is a good player. I was surprised when they brought him in because of Escaré, but actually, it's got to be said, he's really doing well. Doing well.
Didn't he get an injury, Braley?
Don't think so. If he did, he'll be on the list. I don't think it's been announced that he's out. Please for Matty Costello as well. He came onto the scene last year, and I thought Morgan Smithies there. Yes, Morgan Smithies at loose forward, playing well for Wigan.
This was a simple walk, and that's the simplest try he's going to score ever.
It's his first ever career professional try, isn't it?
Yeah. Kate Cuss played well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Wigan, they've got this year. They are more of an attack. There's the lad, Mr. Farrell. But they're more of an attacking force. We called it early doors. We said that it was going to be a much improved Wigan team this year, and it's proving to be the case.
I thought Brodie Croft for Salford had a great game, and
brilliant.
If he'd have had a little bit more composure with that break,
mate,
in the first half, it could have been a different story.
We said at the start of the season when Brodie Croft came in, it could be another Jackson Hastings.
Yeah, that was a good try.
Smith had a great game. I'm really pleased with Harry Smith. He had a torrid year last year, too much expectation. I think it weighed on his shoulders, but this year when he's come in, he just looks a lot better. Credit to him for that. But Wigan Warriors, 248 points this season. That's a massive, massive improvement on last year. Only 10 points behind Saints.
And that was very clever. That was very clever.
What's clever? No, I think Salford, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And, as a neutral in this game, as much as you can be a neutral when Wigan's playing, when they got it back, I think it was to 24 all, the momentum was with them. They looked as if they were going to do it. I mean,
Steele's not going to. He's not going to.
No,
fall short with this one, is he?
No, as soon as that happens, it's game over. And again, another player who's backing up on last year. Kensio surprised many last year being the top try scorer, and here he is again.
I love that fella there giving the bird to the Wigan fans. You're on camera.
Andy and Sue come in there saying that Braley with his ribs. Tell you what, pitch side reporters, Andy and Sue tonight. Pitch side reporters. Fantastic stuff.
Maybe on the show.
Yeah, do you want? Yeah, should we have a guest slot for Andy and Sue?
I think we should.
Could Andy and Sue come on the show? There's an offer for Andy and Sue. If you want to come and join us one of the weeks, let us know and you can come on. But there he is. I mean,
this is my try of the week.
Mate, he's class. Mate, that try got the second highest at 27%. Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant.
Time of the game. He's in front of his own sticks. He goes a full length. He's still got the defence to beat.
Yeah, he's brilliant, mate.
At the time of the game, people mind. What was that attempt at a tackle there then?
Well, I'll tell you what I would say here, Greg, and I mean this in all sincerity. I think if I was a defensive coach at the moment, I would just say, look, when he's got the ball, you complete your tackle. If he offloads it, he offloads it. You just complete your tackle. Because actually, because what you're doing is you're tackling the most dangerous man on the field.
Yeah,
and that for me is all. That will be my message to any defence. If you've got J Field coming at you, don't worry about the offload. Just complete the tackle. Because if he offloads it, we've got more chance of catching whoever he passes it to than catching him.
100%, mate.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'd be saying if I was a defensive coach. Just man on man him, mark him up. He's my man, and make sure you crunch him. And in terms of if he passes it, we've got a better chance of catching. They are. I've done Dowell Powell's team talk for him. Let's see how he does it. Do I want a job? Dear good Lord. No, I'm already losing my hair. I couldn't do that. Hull FC, Catalan Dragons brought the this was a proper game, wasn't it? And unfortunately, the attendance, I don't know what the attendance was for this. It wasn't covered in League Express. I've been scouring the internet. Come on, Andy and Sue, pitchside reporters. What was the attendance at the MKM when Hull took on Catalan? But a really, really interesting game, a tight affair between these two teams. Enjoyable. And Jordan Lane, our third highest voted try of the weekend, and here he is.
Yes,
nice.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
No, I think this was two tired teams. Catalan, not to take the gloss off a whole win, but I think
Ian Potter's come in. He's saying it was 9,100 at the MKM. Craig Bursthurst, another big name. Craig Bursthurst, he's watching us for the first time. Good evening, Craig. But yeah, great try. And you're right, tired. I agree. You know, 14-8.
Here's a question for Hull fans, given that attendance. Would Hull fans like to see their own ground rather than sharing with Hull City?
Question. It's a good. I mean, I personally don't like these grounds. I don't. You know, the Wigan ground isn't a rugby league. It's not a rugby league ground. It's not a rugby league ground.
What really annoys me, Dave, is there was some rugby union on. The England Ireland Women's Rugby Union was on Sunday, and the cameras are placed opposite the stand that had the most people in it.
Yeah.
With Rugby League, they insist on putting the cameras facing the least populated stand.
Yeah, no, completely agree.
Why not have for instance, at Halliwell Jones, why not have the cameras facing the south stand rather than?
No, completely agree.
Another question for all fans: how do they feel about Sky commentators' insistence on calling them the black and whites? It drives me insane.
Well, the Allybirds, aren't they? I mean, that's who they are, and you know, and that's who they are. Tracy Wilson, a Hull FC fan, has limped straight in. Greg, she would like to see Hull FC have their own ground. She's straight in.
Yeah, I think so.
Steve,
Boulevard was a great ground.
Hang on a minute. Steve Wilson has said yes before. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? He's tracing Stephen Item with the name Wilson, and why are they watching on different phones? Interesting.
Maybe we start a rumour.
We are starting rumours now. Are Stephen, Tracy, and I am? Are they in different rooms watching Super League Raw?
What does Steve say though?
Well, Steve said he would. Yeah, he would.
All right, that's all right then.
Yeah, he would. He would. He would like his own. He's like his own ground. But yeah, I mean, you know, well done to Hull. You know, backed up against the Warrington. You know, the Warrington one. Mitchell Pearce, I think, is getting better and better. The more we see him,
I think they're going to miss Drinkwater though.
Big time. Oh, big time. Steve Wilson has agreed that they are indeed Mr. and Mrs. The question now is, why are they on separate phones? These are the questions. You know, we just like Piers Morgan, we go to places people don't want to go. That's what we do. Outstanding. Anyway, we move on.
On that bombshell.
But no, you know, fair play to Hull. But we're going to get to the predictions in a minute. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, Tracy said they're sat in different rooms. Unbelievable. Shocking behaviour.
I hope there's no Coronation Street or Emmerdale on while you're watching this.
It'd be disgraceful, wouldn't it? I mean,
absolutely really, despicable behaviour.
Yeah, really. They should have us on the big screen. They should have us on the big screen. And there's another one. If, you know, we could have Mr. and Mrs. Week where we get Andy and Sue on and Steve and Tracy. We could have the Mr. and Mrs. Week where we have them all on. Now the question
is, have a Mr. and Mrs. style quiz.
Yeah, imagine though if one of them was a KR fan and not an FC fan. Oh, that'd be comedy gold to get them on them. But they're both on the same side. So anyway, there you go.
How did it feel about black and whites? Sky's black and whites. It drives me absolutely through the roof.
Well, I tell you what. Whilst we watch the team of round number 10. They can consider that question. What is your thoughts? What do you rather? What would you rather be known as a Hull FC fan? And whilst you're deliberating on that, we're going to go and watch the team of the week for round number 10. Are you ready, Greg? Oh, you've already gone on mute, but I think he's ready. Here we go. It's the team of the week for round number 10. Here we go. Darken the city. Fewlis is a wire. 3 tries for Josh Fewlis at fullback. Stefan Ratford, are you watching? The pretender to the crown has arrived. At number 2 this week is Darrell Alberts of the Castleford Tigers, in and around the team in the week. Last year, of course, had 2 tries against St Helens, 9 tackle busts, 105 metres. Welcome back to Darrell. At number 3, it is Carlos Tumavare of Hull FC. Oh, we like this player here at Super League Raw, and he's back once more. 2 very good offloads, but it was the meters down the middle, laying the platform for Hull FC against the Catalan Dragons. And number 4, Jake Mamo, his first appearance of the season in the new colours of the Castleford Tigers. A very, very strong performance from Jake. 2 very good assists. It would appear that Mamo is settling in at the jungle. And number 5, Jason Gary, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 St Helens players were frailing on the wing. Yes, Jason, fantastic try. Well played, sir. And number 6, oh, it's Riley Dean. No Widdop, no Williams, no Ratford, no problem. Oh, what a player. 4 assists, 4 goals. Welcome, Riley. And Wigan Warriors awaits. At number 7, well, it will be Harry Smith of the Wigan Warriors. Another very good display, maybe this season. Just enjoying it a bit more with the pressure off him a little bit. He's been very, very good every time he's played, and he was essential to the Warriors' victory over the Red Devils. At number 8, it's Kyle Moore. Yes, he doesn't just do commentary for Channel 4. He's a player as well, back in the team this week for St Helens against a very, very good Castleford team. Well done to Kyle for getting in the team. And Brad Dwyer leads Rhinos. 2 tries. Oh, look at those dummy runs. He tortured the Toulouse Olympic in a game that the Rhinos had to win, and they did. Number 10, Mike Cooper, getting back to some sort of consistency and form for the Warrington Wolves, and he will need to be at his best this week against the Warriors. 140 metres though against a very strong Huddersfield pack. At number 11, returning Liam Farrell of the Wigan Warriors. A try, an assist. Oh, it just gets so boring seeing him at number 11 every week, doesn't it? But he's there yet again. Well played, Mr. Farrell. At number 12, it's Kane Lynette of Hull KR, a man of the match performance against Wakefield Trinity. 2 tries, superb, well played, quality. And at number 13, yet again, it will be Joe Westerman of the Castleford Tigers. Yes, it was a understrength St Helens side, but Westerman yet again showing his prowess loose forward. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your team of the week for round number 10. Team of the week for round number 10. There you go. Happy days. Wonderful stuff.
Dark in the city, what does that mean?
It's Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. It's how it starts. Dark in the city, the night is a wire. But I just thought I'd change it to Fewlis. But yeah, you know what can you do?
That never even dropped.
Yeah, there you go. They're dark in the city, the night is a wire.
Next week I want Spandau Ballet.
Hey, Spandau Ballet, what, through the barricades, sir? You want a bit of that in there? There's a challenge. Can I get gold, yeah. Can I get a Spandau Ballet true song in there? Well, we'll have to see. Tracy Wilson has come flying back in. They are the Early Birds. That's who they want to be. None of this black and white. They are the Early Birds. And I'm sure they're delighted to see Carlos Chimavare at number 3 in our team of the week. Quality player. We like him.
Brody Croft had again, as I said, Brody Croft played well. Kane Cuss played well.
Yeah. Ethan Ryan had a claim. OKR on the wing. He had a claim. He played well. Always difficult to get down to the best 13. But again, we'll stand by it. I think it was a weekend.
No arguments at all with that. No arguments at all. Let's hope that.
Yeah, what's nice about that team is the youth element. You know, you've got Fewlis, you've got Gary, you've got Riley Dean, you've got Harry Smith. You know, youth. Good to see these players coming through, and you know the future's bright, isn't it? It's good to see. Right then, Mr. Nixon, it is time to start looking at. Well, okay, let's start looking at the fixtures that are coming up. Here we go. Let's get to them. Oh, but before we do, how do we stand? Let's take a look at the league, of course. And here it is. St. Helens still top with 16. Wigan Warriors now with them on 16 apiece. Look at those points scored for Wigan, a team that last year couldn't score. They've passed that mantle on to Leeds Rhinos, and this year they're doing well in attack. Defence not as strong, but that's what you pay for when you change emphasis. Saints, of course, still the yardstick of getting the balance right between the two. Catalan Dragons then on 14. Hull FC in 4th with 12. Just behind them, Hull KR on 12. Then it's the Giants on 11. Then it's the Tigers and the Wolves. Then Salford on 6 with Wakefield. Leeds now up to 5 points, 3-point cushion against the Toulouse Olympic. So that's the league table. Again, I would say that at the start of the season, many would have thought Leeds had been in the top 5. I think many people would have thought Warrington had been in the top 5, but it's
I did think Leeds would finish second. I think it was toss between Wigan and Leeds, and I went for Leeds.
Yeah, they've been poor. They've been poor.
And they've let me down. They've let the fans down as well.
They have indeed. They have indeed. But it's a very tight table. I mean, if you look at that there, from Warrington up, it's game on for the top 6. It really is. And what a difference 2 weeks make in the prediction league. I can't believe it. Me and Reggie are level. What's happening? Unbelievable.
Both catching the fans up.
And we're both catching the fans. Yeah, only 5 points now in it. I think I was over 30 points. I was getting on for like 20 odd points behind before Easter weekend. So it's really tightened up, which is good to see as we enter round 11. So let's take a look at round 11. And here it is. Wakefield will be taking on the Huddersfield Giants. A good game in prospect there. Then it's the Leeds Rhinos Hull KR. What a game that could be. Leeds at the moment, let's be fair, not doing very well. A draw, beating Toulouse. Going up against a very good OKR team.
I don't think any cups has landed yet, has he?
No, he's not.
No. I don't think he's landed yet, though.
I think it's the middle of May. I've heard it's the middle of May when he's going to get there. So I think JJB is in charge for at least the next couple of rounds, I think.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, Warrington.
One of those rounds is Challenge Cup, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so, it's next week, isn't it? Challenge Cup.
Getting in it. Yeah.
Warrington taking on Wigan. What a mouth-watering prospect. Let's just like the Wigan Salford game last week. Let's hope that that's a great advert for the sport. So then it's St. Helens taking on that team, Salford. I think Saints will probably not be taking Salford as lightly as perhaps they would have done had it not been for that Wigan game. That's really probably got them thinking a little bit harder. Great threat down the middle. Great threat down the middle. Then it's Catalan taking on Cass. I think that's going to be a great game. And then Hull FC bring the curtain down again when they take on Toulouse. So let's take a look.
Is that 3 home games on the bounce for Hull?
I think something like that. Yeah, it will be because it was Warrington. Yeah, they were at home last week against Catalan and now Toulouse. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Good knowledge, sir. Good knowledge. Right, we go into the first game. This will be live on Sky this Thursday night at the Be Well Support Stadium in Wakefield. The Trinity absentees at the moment would appear to be Bill Tupuli, Kershaw, Tom Lanham, Thomas Mins, and David Fafita still struggling with his thumb. 3 defeats on the spin for Trinity, going up against the Giants, who, after what could only be described as an exceptional start to the season, suddenly getting into a bit of turmoil. Saints probably expected, but that 32-10 against Warrington would have really stung them, as to would the 20 all. I think, going into the game at Leeds, that have fancied themselves to get something at Headingley for that game. But look at the Giants absentees. No Price, Chris Hill.
They're killing them.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Look at it for them. Cogger, Lola Hoyer, Price, Farge, they're going into this game.
Hill. Yeah, I don't think he gave a penalty away on Saturday.
Don't know, but he's been suspended. I think for me, the fact that their halfbacks are decimated, it's an interesting one. This one, the fans forum, whether they did the homework or not, I don't know, but they've gone 54% Huddersfield, which when you look at those injuries and absentees is a brave shout, especially when you're saying it's going to be by 9-17. I think that based on what we're looking at there, the fans forum might have wanted to reconsider that one, but they can't. Do your homework, fans. Do your homework. Where do you see it, Greg?
I'm going 9-17 the other way to Wakefield.
Yeah.
9-17 Wakefield, I think.
Do you know what? I can't disagree with that. I think that, what we do know is that Lino and Miller on the day Very, very good. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to be going up against, like I said, decimated
Johnston back.
team. I think, yes, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah, Johnson.
that
Whether he plays or not, he's not on the casualty list. Whether he plays or not, I don't know. But,
no,
but
I
yeah,
think 9-17 Wakefield there.
yeah, I've gone the same, mate. I've gone 9-17. Huddersfield 9-17. The fans for him. It's a brave shout. Then we go to Headingley. Look at that for Leeds. It's frightening. It's a list as long as your arm. Tom Holroyd out. Milo, of course, out. Walters out. Harry Newman. Jack Walker. James Bentley suspended. Tetavano still suspended. Austin has picked up a concussion. Fisitua still out of his knee. Caesar still out of his groin. I've got Austin on there twice for some reason. Yeah. Liam Sutcliffe out potentially with his knee. And Tom Briscoe out with his ankle. Massive.
That's 30. That's 13 out. That's a full side now.
Mate, it's a massive problem for him. A huge problem for him. They're going up against the Robins team who have won 4 on the spin. Yes, they've got no Mikey Lewis, but he's not been there for a couple of weeks now. Frankie Alton's still expected to be missing. Parcell, we know, he's also going to be out with concussion, but they've got Jez Litton there who can fill in for him, no issues. Kaylin out for at least a few weeks, probably.
That's going to be a big miss.
Yeah, and then it's Will Mayer and Tom Garrett. So, you know, again, when you look at that, you think for the fans for him, 70% going KR, 70% going 9-17.
I agree. I think Hull KR 9-7. In fact, no, I'm going to go Hull KR 18+.
Oh, that's a big shout.
Because I think Leeds have got too many injuries and suspensions.
Yeah.
Really
No, it's
some big players. They're big players.
No, I do you know what? It could go for me. It could go either way. This one, 9-17 or 18 or 18+. I'm going to go 9-17. I think you could. I'm going to go 9-17, but you might not be wrong there. You might not be wrong. Can I see that going 3 tries?
I think the Tony Smith effect as well will spur them on.
But yeah. Oh, Andy and Sue are saying that Farges may be back. I've not heard that. That's not been confirmed. But they may have it on good authority that Farges may be back. So that'll certainly help the Huddersfield cause for the previous game. But 9-17, I'm going there for KR on that one. But, you know, the fact that the new coach has been announced for the Leeds Rhinos, you know, they're playing for the careers. They're playing for the shirt, you know, and maybe
he's not here yet, though. He's not here yet.
I'm sure he's watching. Good evening to Joe Dobson. Good to have you along for the ride, sir. Right, we then go to what hopefully will be an absolute belter. The Warrington Wolves live on Sky at 8 o'clock on Friday, taking on the Wigan Warriors. Greg Minikin still not expected to be in the squad, but back in training for Warrington.
Training I saw today, yeah.
Yeah, still no James Harrison. Jack Hughes is going to be out for, I think it's 4 months, they've said, for Jack Hughes, which is pretty much the season. Stephen Ratchford and George Williams. Of those, Williams may be fit, but that's not been confirmed. But for Ratchford, Widdop, Hughes are expected to be sidelined. So the likes of Riley Dean, the likes of Josh Fulis get to go again. And of course, if Matautia plays in the halves, Connor Wrench will probably go again. For the Warriors, KPP we know is out for considerable time. Thomas Lulawai now out as well for he's going to be out for a fair few.
Quite a while, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about that's getting on for about 10 weeks, if not longer, I believe. Willie Ison, of course, Sam Powell, 6-match ban. Nobody could argue with that. It was an absolute shocker. Last the other week against who was it against? It was against Saints, wasn't it? It was against Saints. So yeah, Wigan. Yeah, I mean,
can't remember.
It was Saints. It was Saints.
Yes,
the fans. Here's one for you. The fans forum.
Yes.
52% tight. Going the way of the Warrington Wolves, 9-17.
I've been umming and ahhing about this one.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree with them. I tend.
You're going with the wire. I
just think that a corner has been turned. Certain players are out of the side. I'll say no more than that. And a corner appears to have been turned. I think 9-17 Warrington.
Right. I'm going to go 0-8 to the wire. I think this could be very tight. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go down to the very last minute. Either way, I think it.
The factor there is if they keep Jay Field close, if they tie Jay Field up, if they keep him quiet, and Powell's crafty, he has a way of keeping playmakers quiet, and he's got a way of doing that. He always used to do it at Castleford. He would find a way of nullifying the players who were a threat, and if he can do that on Friday night,
they always zero. So zero to 8, 1 to 8. Yeah, you get my point. I'm getting a bit of grief here by Dave Willens on Facebook. But yeah, I think it'd be between 8. I think it'd be up to 8 to the wire, Dave. I think it'd be 8 points in it to the wire is where we're going on that one. Right. So we then go to Saints against Salford now. Few changes to this since we did the graphic. Sione Matautia is expected to return for this one, as is not Conrad Hall. No, it's Matautia. Sorry. So Matautia expected to return, and Will Hapati as well is expected to be in the 21-man squad. So a couple of changes there for Saints. But
did I hear a rumour today that Conrad Hall is on about going back to the NRL?
To the NRL, yeah, for 2023. You did see that. You're quite right. As for the Red Devils, well, still no Lebet. Sargent Sumino's out for the season, as he's right. Greenwood. LaFay still expecting not to play. Sneed still expecting not to be there, albeit may just get there. And Elijah Taylor obviously will be missing because of a HIA in that Wigan game. He'll definitely be missing. If you look at the Salford form, it's 4 on the bounce, unfortunately. And, to be fair, that's why it was such a surprising performance against Saints. Catalan and Warrington pretty much doing a job on him the 2 games prior. So to go to the JJB, or the DW as it's now called, and keep Wigan to 6 and very nearly win it, fair play to them. But they're coming up against a completely different animal in St Helens. Saints expected to bring all the troops back. The fans forum, 75% going the way of Saints, 18 plus.
I agree 100%. I think Saints have rested key players who might very well be looking over the shoulder at some of the kids who played last week. And I think, I'm sorry, Salford fans, you put up an absolutely fantastic performance against Wigan. We're really, really unlucky. If a couple of passes had stuck, a bit more composure, you could have easily won that game.
100%. That last, I think, with 2 minutes to go, when they had them rattled, if they take the tackle there and do a quick play, the ball, they're in. Just a bit of composure. That's all that was needed. Unlucky, very, very unlucky, but a great spectacle.
Well, I think they're up, as you say, they're up against a different animal. In Saints will be, although it was the kids they put out, they'll be stinging from that last week.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can't see past Saints 18 plus, I'm afraid. Sorry, fans.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Fair play. We then go to the Stade Gilbert Brutus. A 7:30 start in France, British time. Dragons, quite a few absentees. Nobusquet, Dean Ware still out, Tompkins out, McMeekin, thankfully not as bad as first thought. He'll be back in about 4 to 6 weeks. Jordan Desiree out. Joe Chan, of course, now suspended. Josh Drinkwater looks like he's going to be out certainly this week. I don't know. Nothing's come out yet as to the scan and how bad that one is. I've not seen anything.
I've not heard anything,
no. But I mean, it's fair to say if he had a boot on at the end of the game at Hull, he's not playing this week. And then Samisoni Langi, unspecified, also expected to be out. So, but again, they've been, the Dragons this year have had, they have really managed their injuries well. Considering that I think they've probably had at least 6 to 7 players on this list every single game, and every one of those players would be knocking on the door for one of the 17 shirts every week. They've done incredibly well to be where they've been. They've managed it well. And then you look at the Tigers. I mean, whoa, look at that for a list now. McClellan still out, O'Neill, Fecky, Richardson, Hampshire, Jordan Turner, Shrees Blair, Faraimo expected to be out, Eden as well. That's a shame. He was in great form, but Eden's picked up. They haven't said what it is yet, but that's disappointing. Evels picked up a knock, Alex Sutcliffe. So quite a big absentee list there for the Tigers as well. But of course, at the moment, the Tigers are the form team in Super League. 4 wins on the spin, and some big wins in there as well, to be fair to them. So the fans forum have gone the Tigers. 62% have gone the Tigers, 0 to 8. Or Don't laugh at that, Dave. 0-8. So yeah, 1-8. We need to start just for 1-8. There'll be 8 points in it. Where
All right,
you?
then, Dave. You're
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fine. I'm just worried about getting flack off our Dave. Yeah, go on, carry on, mate. What's your thoughts?
I'm going Dragons 9-17.
Yeah.
I'm going Dragons 9-17. Sorry, Tigers fans. I just think even though I think Tigers have got more out than the Dragons. I think Dragons, Castleford have been on a good run.
Yeah.
But I think Dragons, again, they'll be smarting from that defeat against Hull.
Yeah. No, I agree, mate. I'm with you on that as well. You know,
I think Catalan 9-17.
Yeah, we've been. I think is that the third time I've agreed with you. Yeah, three of the 5 at the minute we're in agreement. Me and you. Yeah, 9-17 Catalan. I tend to go with you on that. I think that's probably where it's going to be. And then again, you know, the curtain comes down at Hull, and again, look at these injuries for Hull. Not necessarily for Toulouse, but for Hull. Katie, we know's out for the season. Scott's still out. Luke Gale suspended. Savelio out for the season. Josh Griffin. Big loss, this one, out with his ankle. Josh Reynolds out, suspended. That's an interesting one. Yeah, national service, been called in for national service. Yeah, he's Ukrainian. So he's gone back home, which is interesting. Adam Swift out with his foot. Connor Wynn concussion. He won't be playing. Ben McNamara, he's back. So again, you look down that list. Is Connor going to be put in the halves for this game? Because again, a lot of and that detracts a little bit. Of course, Jamie Shaw's there; he could go and cover at full back. Yeah. So I think the chances are Connor's going to be in the halves for this one. And Toulouse, well, you know, a couple of, I mean, Hankinson, big loss, Armitage, big loss for them. But you know,
Toulouse, he got quite a nasty blow to the throat, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, hang on, Andy and Sue are back in. You'd expect that. They are Castleford fans. Catalan short turnaround, Cass go for it, then rest for a week. So so Andy and Sue back in their own team. Nothing
wrong with
surprise on that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But do you know what? This is a real head scratcher for me. I have to be honest with you. The fans forum, brave, I think, going 92% see this as a Hull win by 18 plus as well, which is Toulouse have really surprised me. You know, you look down that list there. They only lost by 8 to Catalan. They only lost by 4 to OKR. And yeah, they'll be disappointed, I think, with the Leeds out if truth was to be known. I think they had a real chance there. But when you look at that list of injuries, and Hull is one of these, you know, how often do Hull flatter to deceive? They go on a bit of a run and then they just take their eye off the ball for whatever reason. Is this one of those games? Is this? I see this as a real opportunity for Toulouse.
Again, it's a difficult one. So what have you gone for then?
I've gone Hull. I've gone Hull. I've gone Hull 9-17. But genuinely, if I'm a Toulouse fan, this is an opportunity. I think this is an opportunity.
They've been in the country a week. They've not been back home.
Yeah.
They've got their injury problems aren't as you know, it's not a lot as long an injury list as a Hull one. But I'm with the forum. I see Hull by 18 plus, and I think it's that fact that Toulouse have been away from home for over a week. You know, it's sometimes can have an effect.
Andy and Sue are back in here.
You know,
they're seeing Toulouse. They're feeling it's a Toulouse opportunity. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, form would say it's going to be Hull. We've all gone Hull, but I'll tell you, if there's going to be, I mean, the Warrington-Wigan game can go either way. You know, you can almost argue if a shock's coming, this is the one for me. I think this is the one. I think KR against Leeds. I think Saints
could very well be right, sir.
This could be it.
I just can't see it. I can't see it.
No. Neither can I. So, as always, as you know, me and Greg do this for the love of the sport. No money's change hands. We come every week. We have day jobs. We do our best. You know, we try and put together an entertaining show for you all. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we do. We do doing it. We are going to close the curtain with the usual, who are the top performers in the Super League thus far this year. Get a bit of heavy metal going before we finish. But Greg, that's another hour and 15 minutes gone by.
Absolutely flown by, sir.
Indeed, as always, enjoy your rugby league, everybody. I think a double header on Friday in the NRL, the South. So I think it's Penrith. I can't think it's might be the Gold Coast Cat Titans, and then South Sydney are on as well. I'm trying to remember who they're up against, but it's definitely a double header on Friday morning in the RL. There's also a game on Sunday in the NRL, and of course, then there's the Super League game. So enjoy your rugby league. Greg, we'll be back same time, same place next Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, the top performers of Super League up to round number 10. This is going to play us out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you
Cheers, guys.
next week.
See you next week.